Half-Sword just released into early access, adding a ton of brand new content such as new maps, new weapons and armor, brand new character and weapon customization, as well as the long-awaited multiplayer mode. That being said, spend 10 minutes playing and you'll see why it's currently sitting at 35% positive reviews just 2 hours after release. After watching this video, you'll know exactly what's been added and what the biggest bugs and issues are, so here's everything you need to know. Let's start off with the most important issue, being why it's upset so many of their fans. Well, it's a combination between horrible optimization for basically every player and even a reduction in content from the demo, not more. This is because they completely changed how free play works. In the demo, you could choose between a bunch of different classes. Now, while you couldn't pick individual items such as what hat you wanted to wear or armor, you at least could cycle through some presets and find what you liked. Now, in the early access version, you're limited to what you've unlocked through a new progression mode. We'll dive more into this new mode and the inventory system soon, but for now, just know that they've removed a lot of access to the equipment early on. And while we did get a bunch of new maps, none of them are currently available in free play. I think a lot of players just want to have a fun sandbox mode where they can build their entire loadout and just have fun on any map, but right now that's not even part of the game. The whole free play thing is kind of a little confusing too. You can choose the number of enemies and their rank, but you're given a generic loadout to use and you're gonna fight in that basic arena every time. You are technically able to customize your character here with the new inventory system. So within the inventory, you are able to choose every item on your character now, from different colored shirts and pants to which weapon you want to equip. You can see all the different slots that you can fill here on the left. One big issue with this is that in order to get access to more items, you need to level up through this new progression mode, which has a lot of bugs, problems, and some unfair qualities. So in this progression mode, you'll create your own character, and one positive here is that we do have player customization now. You can choose from a few different faces, and my favorite part was the hairstyle slider, where you can see it grow incrementally, which I've never seen in a game before. Now, there is only one style, but I'm sure this will change over time. You can pick the color for your hair and eyes, and then also your stature, which is your size. You'll see your weight at the bottom of the screen, and as you progress, this is going to slowly go up. You'll notice early on that your fighter isn't the strongest, largest man, but as you train, your character will build muscle and you're going to put on a little bit of extra weight. Now, after you create your willy, you're brought into this tavern, which is going to act as your main menu for the progression mode. I won't go too in depth on every little fact and feature, but what you need to know is that you start off as a beggar and you'll have battles lined up for you by this jester. You'll have multiple different options for battles to pick from, and they're going to show you the map, the amount of currency you'll earn, and the game mode on the right. Now, where it shows you the game mode, you'll see this thing that says rounds, and that is how many times you're going to have to win a fight. So I usually try and do the quickest ones possible, such as a one-rounder if it is available. Now, as you can see, there's this new map called Slums that shows up a lot as a beggar. Problem is, it's borderline unplayable right now, like it's actually really bad. Well, first off, looking into the distance will cause horrible lag. Turn your camera towards the town and all of a sudden it's good as new. Also, the floor is just completely broken. You can see these holes which cause your willy to easily fall over. Now, I lost a round in less than 20 seconds because I fell over instantly during a knockdown round, so I just lost immediately. I mean, I'm not a developer, so I don't know exactly how it works when you're testing a game on multiple different systems, but I really can't believe that they playtested this map and found no issues, because there's a lot. Now, I did mention this new currency called Flemings that you'll earn from fighting, and these can be spent in a few different ways. In my opinion, the coolest way is by spending your coins at the weapon forge. As a beggar, you'll only have access to building a mace, but you can see the idea behind it here and all the different ones you can craft. You can change every aspect of the weapon, including the size of both the grip and head, the type of grip and head, the color of the leather, color of the wood, and even the metal used. You'll see the cost of the weapon change here in the bottom right, and you can even test it out on a mannequin. One of the features that I haven't been able to test out yet is the craft armor. It's located in the same spot as the weapon forge, and it seems like they alternate either every day or at different times of the day. I'm guessing here you'll probably be able to color your armor by using different metals or stains on it, or designing it in different ways by using, say, like a coat of arms, or on the shield maybe you can put some designs. The main place that you're probably going to spend your coins is at the trader, where you can purchase and sell different items. When you start out as a beggar, you'll have access to simple shirts and pants as well as some common tools. Now, for me, the best weapon that I found was the pitchfork, because it's the only thing that allowed me to keep my distance and easily take down enemies with one thrust. Even that being said, I haven't been able to level up due to the difficulty of progression mode. You can find this level up slider that's shown at the top of the gesture page. Each successful fight will bring you closer to the next level. However, in order to level up, you need to pass the tourney, now in our case the beggar tourney. This is 7 consecutive fights that get harder and harder, stacking you up against multiple enemies at a time with no armor. So one swing of the axe and your character is gone. And I mean that though, because if you die in progression mode, you're only given one chance to save your progress. When you're killed in combat during progression mode, it'll give you two options, either to save your soul or give up. Now, if you click save your soul, you'll be brought to the abyss where these undead fighters are gonna rush you based on how many lives you've taken. Now, if you survive, you get to live. If you die, you're brought back to the character creator. It is worth noting that at least any items that are in your stash and the money that you had earned prior will still be there, so you're gonna be slightly better off each time you have to restart. In your new life, you'll be greeted by the tavern master who tells you that your friend is gone but his belongings remain. Then you do it all over again. And I do believe if you're able to level up, then you won't have to go all the way back to beggar when starting a new character. This is because at the top of the character customizer, there's this background slider that doesn't change, but you can see the beggar symbol to the left. So once you level up, you'll probably be able to start as a peasant and then so on as you move up the ladder. Now, it's tough for me to be able to show you every single new item that's been added because we don't have access to it all, but I did a bunch of free play fights to try and find some new gear. The first guy that I fought looked like someone straight out of Skyrim. He had this barbute helmet, which I apologize if I pronounced that wrong, I just looked it up, and this very interesting shaped shield. The first time that I fought a knight, he had this long brown cover over his body, and throughout my whole playtime, I was able to find a bunch of new weapons and equipment that I do think are worth mentioning. First off, as a beggar, I found my new favorite weapon being the flail. This gives you decent range, and it's extremely satisfying to clock someone on the jaw with it. Later on, during a free play match, I actually found an enemy wielding a spiked flail, which looks sick. I saw this little wooden mallet called the maul, and this smaller hoe, which I think both of those are new. During free play, you can find a ton of new items being worn by enemies. This includes both variations of weapons and armor as well as brand new pieces. You'll see a lot of new chest plates that take different shapes as well as unique greaves, which are these kind of shin and calf guards, as well as new helmets, of course. Now, for the breastplates, of course I'm calling them breastplates now, I found one which I think if you go back to medieval times, this one is called the saggy bosoms, I believe. And now many of the enemies do have customized weapons. These guys had a golden mace and these guys over here had unique swords. One guy also seems to have been wearing a different color helmet than the rest, so this might be an example of something you can do in the armor crafter. Even with all of the new additions, the current build is definitely in rough shape, so the only thing we can do is continue to report bugs, voice our opinions and frustrations, and hope that things get resolved as quickly as possible. I'll most likely end up creating a beginner's guide that goes way more in depth into the new progression mode and answers all the little questions that you might have, so subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet to be notified when that releases. I know we've all been waiting for this game for a really long time, so if you're someone that's feeling a little bit disappointed today, just know that I'm sorry, and I really hope the community will stick together and the developers are going to work really quickly to fix all of the bad bugs that are in the game, and hopefully, you know, things are going to turn around with due time. But I do hope this video was at least able to help you learn about the changes to Half Sword, and thank you so much for watching. As always, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.